Hi, my name is Tom Shu, and today we're going to use Lightroom to make our final selections from a photo shoot. Lightroom is a valuable tool that lets you do lots of things. However, when you do a big photo shoot, it's kind of hard to weed out all the images that you're going to keep and the ones you're going to use and the ones you're not going to use. And, all the ones that are kind of like blown exposures and not in focus, you're never going to use those. So just delete them and get them out of your catalog. Lightroom makes short work of this. If you look up here, there's some filters. Okay, it says star ratings, pics, flags, colors, all kinds of attributes. So we can use these tools to go through and sift through our images quickly. Right here we have got about 140 images. Take a look. Let's just select them all by hitting Control A, and that's Command A on the Mac. Let's just make a new collection. Okay, so we're going to create a collection, and I'm just going to call it the number 1 so it goes on the top, and we'll call it headshots just for the sake of mark, and we're going to include the selected images. So we're going to create it. Here we are. There's our collection, and it's headshots. It's 124 images. So let's go through this real quick. Hopefully this video won't be too long, but we'll just do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to look at your images individually on the screen. And there's a lot of distraction here. Yes, you can clean up your interface. So if you want to get rid of all the tabs, if you hit all of these side tabs, you can come over and hit these arrows and stuff and open up your real estate, or you can just hit Shift Tab, and that cleans up your real estate. All right. Now the next thing you could do is you could select a single image. However, it's kind of distracting around the border when you're looking at all this stuff. Right now, we want to select it as a pick. We want to give it either a star rating or we want to reject it. Get it out of there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the L key. L is in Larry. This is the lights out mode, and if you hit it again, it will make the screen completely black. Now you can use your right and left arrows to cycle through your images. So images that you don't want and you just will never use, like this one here, we're going to hit the X key, and that's going to reject it. Okay, so we're just going to hit our right arrow, and this image has some potential. So instead of getting rid of it and giving it a 5-star rating that we want it to be in the end, any image that I'm interested in keeping, I give a 4-star rating. So if I'm interested in it at all, it's a keeper, I give it a 4, and then we'll refine those to a 5 as our final picks. So we're going to give this a 4-star. Okay, so we'll give this one a 4-star. And if we don't like it, we just will not give it any rating. So we'll give this one a 4-star and another one a 4. I'm not digging his eyes, so we're not going to pick this one. We're going to reject this one, give it an X. Give this one a 4, a 4, a 4, 4. I did some post work on a couple of them. I'm just going to save this one because I liked it. 4. We're not going to use this one. I'm not going to use that one. 4, 4, 4. Rejected. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I'm just going to go through and give these each a rating of 4 if I want to keep them. We're going to reject that one. We're going to save these. We're going to reject that one. This is a quick way to go through your images and weed out all the ones that you don't want. You can see you don't always get the best images the first go round. Okay? And you can get a lot of nice ones, but you take the good with the bad when you're shooting. Okay? And then you refine your picks later on. So we don't need that. This was some white balance information. Hello there. We'll skip that. So we'll give it these ratings. X, X. Just takes a second to go through them. Sometimes I have to look at them for a second. And I think we're getting close. X, X, I don't know what those are doing in there. This must have been on the card. So we're back at the beginning. So we're going to hit the G key, and we're going to hit the L key again to cycle out. If you hit the L key 3 times, 1 puts it in the first mode, 2 is completely dark, and 3 puts you back. So now we've got some star ratings assigned to these images. So if we come up here and we look at this attribute, okay, we click on this attribute. If we come over here and select this X, we can select everything that's been rejected, okay, by this flag key. Only the images that have an X on them have been selected. So now we can remove those from our computer and get rid of them. We're never going to use those. Okay, so you can take a look and see at these images, his eyes were closed and stuff. And this just happens when you're shooting. So go back to the grid view by hitting the G key. If you go to Photo and delete rejected photos, we're going to just remove those 15 from the computer. Okay, so we're going to go back to our collection, headshots. Now we're down to 109 images. Okay, we're going to click none on those attributes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our film strip because we can see like images. And now we're going to start refining. Okay, so we've got our first image here, and there's two images that are kind of the same. Okay, one is closer than the other. So one of these two we're going to give a 5-star rating to. Okay, so instead of just trying to figure that out, we're just going to hold with the film strip selected. We're going to hold the shift key and select them both, and we're going to hit the N key. And this is kind of like a survey mode. And we can give it a star rating, and we can also reject it or give it a pick. So of these two images, okay, I kind of like this image better, but his shoulder shows better here. It's not chopped off. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, and I'm going to move this to a 5-star. And this means these are the ones I'm going to be using for editing. I'm going to use these images later on. Okay, so that's a 5-star image. Okay, so I look at this image and I say, am I going to edit this image? Is it a keeper that I want? I'll move it to a 5-star. Okay, this image here is a unique image. I'm also going to promote that to a 5-star, and this one again to a 5-star. And that's also going to be a 5. And this one will be a 5 as well. And I definitely like those. But see, if we got a whole bunch of the same, okay, what you can do is you can select them all and say, hey, let's take a peek at them. And they're all the same, so we can get rid of a bunch of them. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. We definitely don't need that one. And there's black and white, so we can promote both of these to 5 stars. So 5. So we can quickly get through these images. Now you see that we have a bunch of images that are the same. Okay, so we'll do the same thing, and we don't need to promote all of these to 5-star. We'll just pick the one that's the best. Okay, so of these, which ones do I like? So I'm starting to see, okay, this one has got his hand kind of below, so we don't want that one. And this one here, it's framed pretty good, so there's not a lot of post work, and his eyes look good. Okay, and they're all the same. His hand's a little bit different in this one, and he's got a different expression. So I'm looking at what I like. This is a smile, frown, a little bit more stern look. Okay, so I'm not liking this one. Okay, so we're down to these. His head's a little bit tilted forward. You can see that the forehead seems to be a little bit more predominant here than it does here. I'm kind of liking this one better of the one so far. So we're going to reject that one. And these two, actually these 3 images here, we'll go ahead and get rid of this one, And of these two images, which one do I like better? It says just personal preference. I think the way his chest is out a little bit more, but I like the way the face looks here. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this one, and we're going to promote this to a 5. Now we've gone through that whole string of images. We don't need to continue. Okay, so now we have her. There's 4 images here that are roughly the same. Okay, now actually they're not. So we'll just go back to this, and we'll select this one, and we'll select this one here by hitting the control key, and we can select between those two because they're really similar. And if they're definitely not similar and you want to investigate both, you can make them both picks. She's got a smile here and just a little bit of mouth here, so I'm going to make these both a 5, and a 5. Okay, so we'll look at these two. Now these are very similar. Now I'm going to make a choice. Which one do I like the best? So obviously I've cut her arm off here, so I'm not liking the crop there, and I could definitely come in here and crop across, but I don't like a crop on the elbow for one. Now her head tilt is a little bit better here, so I could determine I could crop it straight across the bust line. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this one because there's too much effort involved, and we'll promote this to a 5. Okay, so we'll look at this image here, and you can quickly go through. So here's a bunch. There's 3 in a row that all look the same, except these two are the same, and the smile's really nice here. Okay, so I'm kind of digging this one here, so we'll remove this one, and we'll remove this one, and this one will be a 5-star. Okay, so that was that series of 3. We'll select this series of 3. Actually, it's a series of 4. We'll get rid of that one here. This is a series of 3. And I like this head tilt a lot right here. So obviously we've chopped her hair off a little bit there, which really isn't that big a deal for me. So we'll just get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of this one. And I'm going to select this one, promote it to a 5. Alright. So we'll look at this next set of 3 images. Okay. These two are the same. Okay. So we're going to get rid of this one. And I like both of them because of the smile. Actually, I like this smile the best. So we're going to go ahead and select this one as our 5-star rating. So that's what you do. You just go through all of your images, okay, and make your selections the way you see fit, and give them a 5-star rating. So I'll pause the video, I'll come back, and I'll finish this all out, and I'll show you where we're going to go from here. Actually, I wanted to show you this one. This is where the survey mode works really well. Here's a whole series of images that are really close to the same. So this is where this mode works really well. Here's 3 images down here. We don't need all 3. So we'll get rid of 2 of them. Okay? And now we're looking closely at these 2. Obviously, I like this one a little bit more than this one, so we're going to get rid of that one. This is pretty nice over here. Of these 2 images, which are the same, I'm going to eliminate that one. Of these 2 images, the chin's a little bit low on this one, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, so now I've got 3. These look really the same. I kind of like the way his chin is turned here. His face is a little more full here, but I like this image better of these 2, so we'll close that out. Now we've got 4 looks here. Of all those images we just looked at, all of these 4 are individually different looking images, and they're all keepers in my opinion. So we're going to make these all 5s. So we'll make a 5, a 5, a 5, a 5. So now we've got a similar thing with these headshots right here. So we'll do the same thing. Obviously, her eyes are looking a little bit off there. And I can tell already I like this one a lot. I can just go through and eliminate them all because I like this one. Okay? This one's nice too. These are both nice looks. These 2 right here. So she's not digging this one too much. And these 4 look nice. These 3 are really similar. Of these 3, these 2 are the same, roughly. So we're going to just get rid of one of these. And now this leaves us with 3 images. And if they're distinctively different looks, we may consider keeping them. However, they're not too far apart I like these two images, and we'll make both of these 5-star, but this one's really popping. So we'll just go ahead and save both of these and let the client choose which one she likes. So we just quickly narrowed down a lot of images. So again, I'll pause and we'll finish the selections. Okay, so we've made all our selections. We've worked our way all the way through the film strip. So I'm going to just select all of the images in the collection. We're going to hit the G key. Okay, so this is all of the images. Okay. Now I'm going to go with the attribute again, and I'm going to select all of the flagged images. The images have a 0 rating. Actually, let's do this. Let's go back again to the headshot collection, and we're going to click none. We'll select them all, and we're going to do photo. We're going to do remove from collection. Actually, we'll just delete the rejected photos. We'll get rid of those 4. Okay, and we'll go to attribute, and we'll select our 5-star rating. Okay, so now all of these images are the ones that are left, and we'll call these the final pics that we'll submit to our client. So we'll do Control A, okay, and we'll go to our collections, which was the 1 headshots, okay, and we're going to create a collection, and we'll call this 1 headshots final. Okay, and we want to put it inside the collection. So we'll just put it next to it. That's fine. And we'll do create. Okay, so now we have our finals. And we can export these out to our client. That's how it is. Each one of these guys will either get picked for their edit. Now, some of these aren't all headshots, but this was a headshot session that we had this gentleman take his shirt off because he's got a great physique. Anyways, after we get the edits, we'll do our final touch-ups in Photoshop, and we'll be done with this job. Well, thank you all for taking time to visit my blog today. Until next time, we'll see you soon.